Good afternoon. The third form of visual support that we use here at the Monarch Center is token economies. The token economy is used when the natural environment doesn't really offer any reinforcement for skill acquisition or behavior for children. It also helps when we want to transition the schedule of reinforcement from a continuous schedule of reinforcement to a variable schedule.
Okay.
Another time that we'll use a token economy is when the learner is having difficulty sustaining their attention at a given activity. That might be snack, it might be during a learning activity at the table. The token economy is a way of providing reinforcement to the learner without having to stop and give them, let's say, the iPad where they stop the activity. The activity can continue, we give the token, and then it keeps going. Tokens are conditioned reinforcers, so we pair reinforcement with the token as we go along. And these reinforcers the tokens are collected and cashed in at a specified time. The tokens can be anything from a check mark to a laminated piece of paper to a poker chip. It can be anything that has been determined. And it's important to remember that the tokens are delivered immediately, like any other form of reinforcement. Here are some examples of tokens. I have the frozen one here, which children are so into. So this one here, there's activities at the bottom. The learner would choose what they're working for. They would have to earn 5 tokens, which is Olaf. They'd earn 5 tokens and then get the activity that they have chosen for a predetermined amount of time.
That's great.
Here's another example. There we go. So when we're implementing the tokens, we need to make sure that they're safe and durable. For example, this one here is laminated, has Velcro on the back. That's going to last for a long time. We want to make sure that it's portable. We want to make sure that it's the therapist who has control over it, not the learner. And we want to make sure that they're accessible and not distracting to the learner. We also want to make sure that the rules and behaviors are well defined. This will keep the system consistent between everybody. We want to make sure that the backup reinforcers are something that happen naturally in the environment. In a classroom, that might be extra computer time. We want to make sure that when we're starting, that we give a token every time that the learner exhibits the behavior that we're asking them to do. And then eventually, every other time, every third time, make it variable. Another thing is when we're delivering the tokens, we want to make sure that the process for delivery and exchange has been determined and understood by everybody.
Okay.
Okay. And before implementing this, we need to test it 3 or 4 days ahead to make sure that it works.
Yeah.
Some advantages is the reinforcement is done immediately following desired response. Reinforcement can be done anywhere. I can give a token to somebody very quickly in any environment. It's not affected by satiation, and the structure of the system ensures that it's consistent between all people implementing it. Some disadvantages are some people may see this piece of paper or whatever the system is to be intrusive in a classroom. It may be cumbersome to move the materials from place to place. And a disadvantage would be also that it may work so well that people won't want to fade it out. Are there any questions?
No, that's good.
Once they've acquired all the tokens, how long do they get to do the activity for?
That's determined before it starts. So they
Okay.
may say 2 minutes of computer time.
Okay.
Okay, I'll get you to complete the post-test.